Good morning, this is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Rapid City authorities say 2 state prison offenders have been placed on escape status.
Adam Pierre and Ryan Shot with Arrow left the Rapid City Minimum Center without authorization Wednesday.
The 30-year-old Pierre is serving sentences for first-degree robbery and possession from Pennington County. Shot with Arrow is serving sentences for aggravated assault, grand theft, and possession of a controlled substance from Minnehaha County.
If you see either offender or know of their whereabouts, you are asked to call police immediately.
A man parents trusted to teach their kids to dance has been sentenced to 12 years behind bars after pleading guilty to 3 counts of sexually soliciting a minor. Kevin Tongvan was sentenced Wednesday after he inappropriately touched a minor during dance class and asked for sexual photos on Snapchat. 2 victims were there and read impact statements to the judge. Tongvan also apologized to the victims.
Yesterday afternoon, we caught up with South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds to hear his reaction to former President Donald Trump's 34 felony counts guilty verdict. Rounds told us he's not surprised by the verdict. He says whether this will limit Trump's ability to campaign is yet to be determined.
You know, I think what we're going to have right now, I think this has basically assured his candidacy. And now it's a matter of how do they go about in the appeals process, either reversing this process or explaining to the people how this could ever happen when federal prosecutors had basically declined to prosecute for a lot of the same things.
Rounds also adds that it is going to be difficult to bring people back together following the verdict.
People in the Pierre area felt some shaking yesterday afternoon. According to the U.S. Geological Survey website, a 4.0 magnitude earthquake hit shortly after 2:30 p.m. just over 24 miles northwest of town. Officials say the quake was around 6.5 miles deep. So far, 16 people reported feeling the earthquake. Now let's check in with meteorologist Scott Munt. Felt some rumbles of thunder overnight.
Oh yeah, we had our scattered storms move across southeastern South Dakota during the overnight hours, maybe a little sooner to the west of Sioux Falls. A lot of those developed and moved through during the evening hours to the west of Sioux Falls. Today we can do it again. We are looking at temperatures in the 60s and 70s for highs, developing thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening, some which may contain some locally heavy rainfall. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. For the past 3 years, the Humanity Launch Service Leadership Academy has brought together local high school students at Augustana University. During the program, the kids spend time coming up with service projects. Co-founder Greg Telcott says this is an opportunity for students to develop leadership skills.
Students come here and they are creating service projects that they will take back to their school and community. That they will lead, and it helps them with leadership. It helps the people in their communities or wherever they decide to serve.
This isn't the only leadership camp taking place this summer. Information about the next program can be found with this story here on Keloland.com.
A group of people from multiple area Native American tribes are journeying over 300 miles this week and next on horseback. This memorial ride started on the Santee Reservation in Nebraska over the weekend and will end in Greengrass, South Dakota on June 8th. Along the way, riders are honoring relatives who were mistreated and lost their lives in the 1860s. They are also raising awareness about missing and murdered Indigenous people.
It's just like a normal part of life now. When someone turns up missing or someone's murdered, you know, it's not normal. We never had that before. We never had alcohol. We didn't have drugs. We didn't have all this violence. We didn't have, and there's people that prey on our children, and our children disappear. You know, we always got to keep an eye on our children.
Horses play a prominent role in this ongoing memorial ride. The group features both younger people and some more senior leaders. Quentin Whipple told us he's enjoying his time with the group.
Pretty fun experience. I like it. It's really nice, just surrounded by family and friends.
Dan Santella and I were on the road with the riders earlier this week. You can learn more about the ride by visiting our stories right here on Keloland.com. And tonight on Keloland News, we'll have more from the riders about the importance of raising awareness on MMIP. And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, we're watching some thunderstorm development later today, and it looks like points south of Sioux Falls, east of Sioux Falls are the primary suspect areas. What we want to communicate on this map, again, like yesterday, where we showed you some similar trends with these spotty thunderstorms. We ended up getting locally heavy rain last night. Now, Turner County was kind of the hot spot, but there were other areas. We had some folks around De Smet, had about 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. And then around or in between in the gap zones, the numbers were way lower in the hundredths of an inch range. So today I would expect that same kind of thing here showing up southeast of Sioux Falls. Your local spots will be easily an inch or two. In between storms, you'll end up with lesser amounts. But just kind of keep that in mind, generally south of I-90, and that would include Yankton, Vermilion, and northwest Iowa, also probably Worthington. Worthington has had almost 10 inches of rain for the month of May. They don't need any more. They've been just simply way too wet. There's a look at the radar coverage here by noon. We've had scattered showers. Quite the opposite in Chamberlain. They've been very dry compared to folks in the east here the last 4 weeks or so. We'll see if we pick up some showers today. There's a look at that radar map. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, south of Sioux Falls, lights up. And we expect those thunderstorms then to roll east tomorrow morning. That'll make way for a pretty nice Saturday. High pressure, 70s for highs. I expect pretty good sunshine, actually, during most of the day. The rain chances will mainly slide south of us. But then by Sunday morning, looks like some storms will try to redevelop in southeastern Ketherland. And that's going to kick off a pretty active Sunday forecast. We're thinking right now across the region that these thunderstorms, Sunday night in particular, will be the main ones to watch, where we've got a cold front or a frontal system coming into western South Dakota, and that's a pretty large slight risk zone. I would expect hail and wind is probably your main threat, but we're also at a time of year you can't rule out tornado development in some of these cells, so we'll have more on that subject, I'm sure, in the days ahead. Here's a closer look at all of this weather coming in. That's this afternoon, so that clearly shows these downpours south and east of Sioux Falls. That feature moves east. There's the high coming in for Saturday. That will slide eastward by Sunday morning, and then we pick up that return flow. And by the way, the weather on Sunday, that'll feature our highest humidity that we've had so far this season. Sioux Falls area, I expect dew points well into the 60s. Make sure your AC is working. You'll use it on Sunday. And then again, those storms will fire up, and it's kind of a broad zone there from Fargo to Omaha, but there'll be storms around, and then likely we'll regroup again by Tuesday as another weather system moves in to the region. By the way, after that, the jury's out on how much cooler weather comes in, but keep a watchful eye on the extended forecast. In Minnesota, Wisconsin, there's going to be a dose of much cooler weather. The opposite will be true in the western half of the country. We're going to look forward to a big ridge developing there. We're going to see how we fit in between those two fighting air masses, but I do expect some windier weather at the end of next week. And again, these two bigger chances of storms, the one on Sunday and again on Tuesday. That's taking shape in our 7-day forecast. Aberdeen, we want to toss in those thunderstorms as well. On Sunday, that would probably be mainly a Sunday night event. Monday looks a little drier, but Tuesday easily could feature more thunderstorms. And in Pierre in central South Dakota, we're going to really warm up on Sunday afternoon with mid-80s, and we're going to have a tendency to stay warmer on the 7-day forecast. We've got some drier ground too in central South Dakota, and that ridge out to our west, we'll see if that keeps the pressure onto the Black Hills to staying a little warmer, as highs are likely to at least be in the upper 70s to low 80s. Check out more details. They're online at kettleland.com.